Hello my friends, it's Evelyn here and welcome back to the channel and to another gorgeous sunny day, which is being enjoyed by the Lady Luna, of course. Now friends, this week is week number 3 of creating that capsule wardrobe for my upcoming holiday, and last week I got to mending and finishing some items and creating a new thing, this dress I'm wearing right here. I've wanted to make a popover dress for so long and I'm so glad that I finally did. So my friends, this week we're continuing to create that capsule wardrobe by looking and seeing what is missing from that wardrobe and creating it. So without further ado, let's get to that. Look at those roses, just gorgeous. So my wonderful friends, having had a look through what I've chosen and created for this little capsule wardrobe so far, there's definitely a shortage of tops. So that's exactly what I'm going to tackle this week. Now my friends, I've made quite a few tops over the past few years right here on the channel, just like these 2 personal summer favourites, so be sure to check them out. But this week, friends, I'm getting to some sewing courtesy of one of my favourite creators. Yes, broken record time, the gorgeous Gretchen Hirsch known as Gertie. Beginning with a pattern from her Gertie's World Patreon, the Midge Breton top. Using some Ponte fabric in black and white, I'm going to create 2 cropped versions, which I think will be the perfect addition to this little me-made wardrobe. To start, I'm creating the cute little side pockets. Using a slightly longer straight stitch on my netching machine for this step, this Ponte from my friends at Minerva is so soft and really easy to work with, both sewing and cutting out. That cute pocket then gets basted to the side of the top front. Before the side seams and shoulder seams are sewn, joining the front and back, now employing a zigzag stitch. And friends, when I say that this is a quick sew, I had both of these tops finished before 10 in the morning. Wonderful. So if you're looking for a quick, satisfying and cute summer staple, definitely check out this pattern. You guessed it, there's a link in the description box. All that was left was to fold in those seam allowances on the hemline, neckline and sleeve edges before top stitching them in place, and my 2 cute cropped tees were finished. Pleased as punch with my sewing progress, I moved on to another Gertie top creation, a personal favourite, the Hepburn top. I even have an entire video dedicated to this pattern right here on the channel, so be certain to check that out my friends. Today I'm going to create 2 of the round neck 3/4 sleeve versions, grabbing some more of that black Ponte and also a really soft off-white sweater knit fabric. Again, yes, from my wonderful friends over at Minerva. Another super quick sew. I was so into my creating, I didn't take any photos my friends, but here are those finished Hepburn tops. I highly recommend this pattern my friends, so many different versions of tops that are so easy to create, definitely get your hands on it. Okay friends, so I created those tops which were missing from the little capsule wardrobe. As you can see, Luna is having a sneeze. Bless her heart. There is one more thing that I think I'm missing, especially since the weather, is
a bit nicer than I would have expected, and that is a nightie or two. So I've grabbed this gorgeous white spotty coffee coloured fabric. Now I think it's spun poly, I'm not entirely sure. It's got a really decent amount of stretch to it. So I'm going to create a full length Frenchy nightie from the Frenchy Peignoir set from Gertie's World over on Patreon. So I'll pop a picture of the design on the screen here. Now I've already created one of these. I've created the shorter baby doll version and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to create one of these this week as well, sewing up a little bit of a storm, my friends. So without further ado, let's get to even more sewing. Glutton for punishment this week, my friends. Glutton for punishment.
Armed with that gorgeous spotty coffee fabric, which I'm certain is a spun poly, it was time to get cutting out, and I'm going for a full-length nightie version this time. This, again, friends, can be a really quick sew, with as little as 3 pieces to create this Frenchy nightie: the back, the front, and the neckline binding. Can you see a pattern emerging this week? It's definitely a week for satisfyingly quick sews. Pieces all cut out, it was time to start sewing with those long side seams first and the lines of gathering stitches at the necklines. Now onto that neckline binding, which I'm tackling a little differently because, shock horror, I'm leaving off the sleeves. To do this, all I've done is simply sew the portion of the tie that should be attached to the sleeves together lengthways with right sides together, which creates a weird looking piece like this. Don't sew your facing into a ring if you want to give this a go, my friends, because then you won't be able to turn those sewn parts out the right way. The facing is then pinned and sewn all around the neckline, with the edges of the now turned sewn sections forming straps of a sort, the edges of those sections meeting the seam allowance edge of the underarms, which I simply folded to the inside and top stitch in place. I'm cutting all the corners this week, my friends. My hope, or at least the vision in my head, is to use this pattern to create a Grecian goddess style effect. We shall see. Be sure to tuck the raw edge of the sewn strap section into your binding when you fold it neatly to the inside of the nightie. The raw edge is enclosed, ready to hand stitch invisibly in place. I then created the longest tie I've ever made. The secret here, my friends? A straw and a lot of patience. So, did it work, my friends? Do we have a nightie that Aphrodite would be proud of? That made me chuckle. Well, let's see as we check a reveal full of makes this week, with help from my partner in crime, the faithful Betty. Well, my friends, look what we have here. A very successful week of sewing to add to that capsule wardrobe. And that nightie? Well, it just might have been an absolute success. Sometimes, my friends, you just have to give something a go and see if it works. But until next week, my wonderful friends, when we finish and style this holiday wardrobe, you take care, stay safe. Bye!